I'm Officer Raymond Brooks. I'm a police officer too. I'm currently assigned to the Police Neighborhood Resource Center. We focus on partnering with the Greensboro Housing Authority to improve the quality of life in their public housing communities and build these relationships with these communities and the police department. Greensboro is my home. Okay, my family is here. I've always been here. This is where I want to be. And while I'm here, I want to do everything that I can to make this a better city, better place, but it takes people continuing to get involved and continuing to want to change things.
Even as a child, he was always watching the news and involved with politics and current events. And he just had a really good eye out for things and just seeing things in a way that most kids wouldn't. He was always very respectful to authority figures. He would see people on the news getting arrested, or people that some of us, honestly, in our family might be thought that were treated unfairly. But Raymond would have a different take on it. He would always be able to get you to open up your mind and see things in a different light and to see how that person felt or what that person was going through.
When I was growing up, I experienced a number of situations that weren't so positive. Some of these situations escalated to the point of us having to get police involved and things like that. And living in certain situations that aren't so positive, you feel like you want somebody to come in and do something for you to protect you, and then the police show up and they're the ones that come in and they take that action necessary, and that action changes that situation and ultimately protects you. That is something that stood out to me. That is what I wanted to be able to do for some little kid who felt the way I felt. A lot of the people that I grew up with, they decided to go a different route. You know, they either decided to sell drugs or get involved in criminal activity.
We all sort of thought it would be a little challenging for him because of, like I said, the neighborhood that we lived in, the people he grew up around, and just the obstacles that he faced. But he set goals really early in life, and as far as I can remember, he's always known what he wanted to do and what he needed to do in order to achieve that goal.
My grandmom, she was a very strong-willed lady. She was one of the stable points of my life. She encouraged me pretty much in everything that I've done. She knew what I ultimately wanted to do, and she knew that in order for me to do that, I still had to be successful. It actually started like being able to take some steps to get to this point in high school. You know I needed some more discipline and things like that, some more structure and things like that. So one of the things that I did was I joined the JROTC program over at Grimsley High School, and I enjoyed it. I learned a lot from it, took a lot from it. They had a lot of outings where they would take us to different bases for training, and to me, that's building that discipline, that structure, and things like that I knew I would need when I decided to join the police department. As far as my military experience, I was actually a civil affairs specialist. One of the things that we do in civil affairs is the same thing that we do with the PNRC. We go out into these over their villages, here communities, and we engage the public, and we try to build these relationships between them and us to break down those walls and barriers so that if we need something done, we can go out there and say, hey, we need this done, can you help us do it? And they're willing to do it.
He'll come from the standpoint of, even though we're police officers, we're still human, and he will extend his hand out to you to help you in any way, but he also wants you to reach your hand back to him.
He has just a natural ability, as my grandmother would say, the gift of gab, being able just to talk to people, no matter whether you're driving a Porsche or riding a bicycle. Chances are Brooks can talk to you and make sense of a possibly confusing situation.
I guess I bring the human face to this badge. People look at it, it's uniform, they see the badge, they see the name tag, they see this big old, I call it the Batman belt, they see all that stuff, and they're kind of put off by it. I guess I use my social skills in a way that I eliminate this barrier.
I've always looked for the peace officers, those who didn't mind getting their hands dirty and getting in the community and really just getting involved. They come out and they'll play ball with the kids, and they'll ride through on their bikes and have conversations with the neighbors, and just stop and just take a moment to just be who they really are, which are human beings who now have a position and a job and a uniform.
What I aspire to do is what I'm currently doing now. Being able to go out here and have a positive impact on somebody. Like I said, I used to be that child who needed the police to come in and change things, and they did, and I appreciated it. And now I'm a police officer. I just want to be able to continue that for somebody else, with the hopes that they will look up to that and see that, hey, these police officers, they actually do care about us,